Silent Hills is the next game in the venerable Silent Hill survival horror series. That's the one with the psychological guilt monsters in impractical headwear and fog. The game is being overseen by Metal Gear Solid creator Hideo Kojima and famed horror director Guillermo Del Toro. We've already had a glimpse of their vision for Silent Hills from PT, the playable teaser on PS4 that was unveiled at Sony's 2014 Gamescom press conference. But what exactly is Silent Hills? What will it be about? Who will you play as? What consoles will you play it on? We just don't know yet, although chances are it will be a multi-platform game due to lack of official word to the contrary. The mystery around this game is thicker than the spooky fog around the old Helltown itself, but that hasn't stopped internet sleuths from deducing their own intriguing theories. Hot off the internet, here are 5 of our favourite fan theories so creepy they might just be true. Watch out for spoilers for old Silent Hill games and for PT.
Even at this very early stage, there's a decent amount of evidence that Silent Hills is about multiple universes, or parallel dimensions, or overlapping realities. They're so hot right now.
Look.
It's us.
Not exactly. We swim in different oceans but land on the same shore.
Silent Hill games have been switching between worlds for years now, moving between the real world and the rust-covered, nightmarish otherworld. Damn, Otherworld, you creepy. The prevailing theory for the Silent Hill series as a whole is that there's more than one Silent Hill. The idea is everyone creates their own Silent Hill and it serves as a kind of self-made purgatory, such as with James Sunderland's guilt over his wife's death.
James, do you really think I could ever forgive you for what you did?
And now it looks like the series is going even further down the multiple universe rabbit hole based on the title of the new game, Silent Hills, plural, and a choice trailer phrase or two.
Watch out. The gap in the door. It's a separate reality.
Eh? Eh?
The only me is me. Are you sure the only you is you?
Eh? Okay, I'll stop that now. We pitch shifted the voice just in case to check it wasn't Kiefer Sutherland, by the way. Kojima.
We gotta get it out. No time for anesthetic. We have to open her now.
Anyway, much like Pyramid Head's upturned pyramid hat, this theory holds water. The playable teaser implies that you're wading through the fallout of a terrible crime, namely the murder of one unlucky family. That's the kind of thing for which someone might expect to be banished to their Silent Hill guilt dimension. The endless looping of the hallway suggests a kind of inescapable purgatory, while the multiple slightly different variations on the same hallway suggest parallel, similar universes. At this point, it's reasonable to assume Silent Hills is going to be dealing with more of the metaphysical multiple universe themes the series has previously hinted at. Advanced versions of this theory include time travel for additional headaches. That's so hot right now.
Booker, good reading.
Oh. I remember.
Some clever fans contend that the events of PT imply that time travel is in play. Are you stuck in a time loop? Residual haunting is what ghost hunting experts call the spooky playback of past events, like a supernatural echo through time. Does that relate to what's going on here? And are these ghost hunting experts hiring? Call me. Is the Silent Hill purgatory for the new game's protagonist going to force them to relive the same period of time over and over? It's a creepy and compelling theory. If this kind of thing is exactly your horror bag, by the way, seek out recent Venezuelan horror film, The House at the End of Time, which is also obsessed with ghosts, doors, and hallways. We're very curious to know if Guillermo Del Toro, the leading light of South American horror cinema, was making a nod to this when he pitched in on PT.
The other Silent Hills theory gaining some traction online is that the main character will be you, as in you the player, not you Greg Smith of Brunswick, Ohio. Although, if you are called Greg Smith and you do live in Brunswick, Ohio, how freaked out are you right now? Anyway, The theory that the protagonist is the player, him or herself, or at least a gamer, was sparked by the ending narration of PT, in which a male voice, apparently that of the fetus, talks about his father.
Dad was such a drag. Every day he'd eat the same kind of food, dress the same, sit in front of the same kind of games. Yeah, he was just that kind of guy. But then one day he goes and kills us all. He couldn't even be original about the way he did it.
In this theory, the protagonist of Silent Hills will be someone who is defined by the fact that they play games. And so the form that their Silent Hill takes is a meta-commentary on the video game trope of repeating loops of gameplay in which you die and restart, solving puzzles that are predictable and have definite repeatable solutions, as we saw in PT. What makes PT so unsettling, and what we could also see in Silent Hills, is the turning of those tropes on their head, with repeating loops of gameplay that change slightly each time, dying and restarting in a way that doesn't set you back and lets you keep items such as the flashlight, and the vague, unrepeatable nature of Silent Hills' puzzle solutions as encountered in the seemingly random elements of the PT puzzles. Gamers are conditioned to expect a certain set of behaviours from their games, and when those games react differently from how it was expected, it can be unsettling and tense. It also opens up Silent Hills to the possibility of meta scares that are laser targeted to its gaming audience. Some of the most effective psychological horror in games comes from this understanding of games as a medium, from Eternal Darkness Sanity's Requiem breaking the fourth wall to make it look as though the game was erasing your memory card, to Batman Arkham Asylum's fake game crash as a result of Scarecrow's fear toxin. Hideo Kojima has previous here with the Psycho Mantis boss fight, where the psychic villain messed with your TV's video settings, read your memory card, and required you to interact with objects in the real world to beat him. With 16 years to mull it over, what are the chances that Hideo Kojima has even weirder, more unsettling scares up his sleeve for gamers that he's just been waiting for the right opportunity to use?
Less encouraging for Xbox fans this, but one curious theory doing the rounds is that Silent Hills is being developed for VR headsets such as the Oculus Rift, or even that it's being developed as a launch title for Sony's Project Morpheus. Let's look at the evidence. Firstly, PT is entirely in first person, which, aside from a few moments in the series and the arcade game, which we're not counting, is a first for Silent Hill. First person perspective would obviously lend itself to VR, but at this point we're not even sure if the actual Silent Hills game will be in first person. Sure, PT and the recently released trailer both are, but there's only so much you can deduce from a trailer. Up until the release of Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty, the trailers led us to believe we'd be playing as Snake for the entire game. And also, why make a big deal of your lead actor, The Walking Dead's Norman Reedus, if the game is going to be first person and you won't see him throughout? On the other hand, we've had possible veiled references to exciting new technology. The voice at the end of PT says,
I will be coming back, and I'm bringing my new toys with me.
Which might be interpreted as a reference to Project Morpheus, and in an interview, Guillermo Del Toro talked about the tools that are at play in Silent Hills. Project Morpheus is a tool?
I can also tell you that the concepts we're discussing, the ideas we are discussing, and the tools that are at play in creating Silent Hills are going to render an incredibly intense and incredibly scary game.
I'm not super convinced by this theory. We're not even sure Silent Hills will be in first person. It would certainly be a departure for the series, though admittedly first person is the new hotness for the horror genre, what with your Slenders and your Outlasts and your Amnesias. The final game may include VR support, but surely not a requirement for a VR headset. The adoption of the new technology isn't anywhere near enough to let the game then be a mainstream hit. And I mean, would you play Silent Hills with a VR headset? Ooh.
Alright, bear with us on this one, but one of the theories about Silent Hills is that it's about aliens? The evidence for this is a Swedish radio transmission you can listen to in PT, which says, yes, the radio drama from 75 years ago was true.
Kan du höra din egen själs skrik? Låt oss välja. Min röst som förtäljer framtiden eller dina plågade ögon.
This is a reference to Orson Welles' War of the Worlds radio drama about an alien invasion that was broadcast in 1938. The radio goes on to say that they are here on our Earth, they monitor and see us all, and that very soon the gates to a new dimension will open. So maybe the separate reality mentioned by the trailer could be a reference to extraterrestrials. It wouldn't be the first cameo for aliens in a Silent Hill game. Almost all the Silent Hill games include a UFO ending, although these were usually played for comic effect. So it would be odd for the series to shift focus onto UFOs at this point. More plausible is this alien conspiracy nonsense being part of a haze of feverish paranoia and delusion that might drive you to kill your family in a jealous rage. The voice on the radio then goes on to repeat the numbers 204863, a sequence of numbers that has attracted a whole host of speculation from fans. 204863. This speculation ranges from the plausible that the numbers refer to Hideo Kojima's date of birth, to the tenuous that the numbers form a Japanese anagram that urges you to look at the bathtub, to the weird that it refers to the genome model number for Populus trichocarpa, or black cottonwood, which is a tree found in the northwestern United States. Speaking of which,
when the mystery number appeared to point to the black cottonwood tree, whose Latin name has the initials PT, in conjunction with this early promo image for PT, everyone was like, trees man, it's obviously about trees. The most prosaic interpretation of this data is that Silent Hills takes place, or partly takes place, in the northwest United States, where the black cottonwood grows. This would move the series away from its traditional setting in Maine in the northeastern United States. It raises the question of how Silent Hills connects to Silent Hill lore if it does occur in a different location. For example, is Lisa poor old Lisa Garland from the very first game? We just don't know. A loopier interpretation of the tree stuff has something to do with the special genetic qualities of the black cottonwood. Of course, Hideo Kojima is fond of DNA-related plot points.
I got all the recessive genes!
And you could theorise that the unique way black cottonwood tree cells can diversify or mutate, such that a single tree has populations of cells with different genotypes, points to branching. Get it? Multiple universes. But that would be reaching. Anyway, that's as far as we go without a PhD in tree biology.
Several days before the murders, neighbors say they heard the father repeating a sequence of numbers in a loud voice. They said it was like he was chanting some strange spell.
So those were 5 Silent Hills theories that could be true or could be insane, far-fetched delusion. But then isn't that what Silent Hill is all about, Hideo Kojima?
Originally we were thinking of making a game that would make you pee your pants, but at this point we've changed our minds and we are aiming for a game that will make you shit your pants.
Right. That as well. Thanks for watching, like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you next time on Outside Xbox. Why is there all this smoke here?
Sorry, my toast is burning.
Oh, now the alarm's going off.